In this video, we will be going through the 7 essentials that I believe every law student should have. Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to my channel. My name is Daniel and I'm a second year law student studying in Australia, and in today's video we're going to be going through the 7 essentials that I believe every law student should have. I tried to make these essentials quite unique. I didn't just want to have, you need a bag or you need a drink bottle or something like that. I wanted to make these unique and something that, not every law student might have, but essentials that I think are vitally important and that, all of you may benefit from. So without any further ado, let's get straight into essential number 1. Okay, so getting straight into it with essential number 1, and it is this right here. It is a physical hard copy of the AGL C4. The AGL C4 is the Australian Guide to Legal Citation, and it is an absolute must-have for all law students and potentially in general practice as well, although I'm not 100% sure. And that is because it is exactly what it says it is. It is a guide or sort of like a rule book to legal citation within Australia. And the reason this book exists is because there are 1,000,001 different rules, and it's impossible to memorize all of them. You can see how thick the book is. That's how many rules there are. And the reason why I say the physical copy is such an essential is because this book is actually free. You can get a free online PDF version, and it's fantastic. I use it all the time. But having the physical hard copy, I've just found to be incredibly invaluable. And the main reason for that is due to its ease of navigation. So the physical book has all of these little tabs down the side here that make it so easy just to flip to the exact section that you need and flip to the exact rule that you need. And believe it or not, it saves you a ton of time, or it has saved me a ton of time. And so I think having the physical copy is an essential, and it's not crazy expensive. I believe it's around $30, and the reason I say I believe is because I received this one from a former coworker of mine, so I didn't have to pay for mine. But now having used it, I absolutely would buy it and spend the $30 because I think it is that useful. And yeah, for me at least, it is an essential, and I believe every student should have a physical copy. Trust me, it will just help you in the long run. So that is essential number 1. Okay, so next up is possibly the most important essential on this list, and it is these right here. Now, I'm not talking about these books specifically, I'm talking about the category of books that these belong to, and it is the LexisNexis Q&A books. Now, these books were a little bit of a game changer for me. In fact, they were a huge game changer for me, and everyone that I've shown them to or recommended them to are absolutely amazed that they didn't, discover them earlier, because they are that good. Now, I'm not going to go into too much depth about these books in this video, because I want to make a separate video going through these books, because I believe they warrant having their own video. But yeah, they're just incredible. But I will give you a little bit of information about them. Essentially, these are set out in the same way, or the content that is within these books are set out the same way as your law school assignments or exams. They give you a hypothetical sort of scenario, and then they give you an answer to that hypothetical. And they even give you other things like examiners' comments, tips, tricks, even the amount of time that they think you should be spending to answer that specific question. And it goes through every single sort of subcategory for the specific subject that you're doing. Like torts, for example, it will go through trespass, negligence, duty of care, economic loss, defamation, that sort of thing. It will have about 5 to 10 questions for each of those topics. And it might have some legal-based questions, because you might receive those in your exams and assignments too. But these are fantastic, and I highly recommend everyone get them. They do come in a physical copy and an electronic copy. You can probably see that I'm a fan of, having the physical book. but they are fantastic, and they pretty much make these for every single law subject, not just the Priestley 11. They make them for absolutely everything. They are a little bit on the pricier end, but I think they're absolutely worth it. And if you are able to split it between a bunch of friends, that is one way that you can, I guess, make the cost of it a little lower. But these Q&A books are absolutely amazing and an essential for myself, and I believe are an essential that every single law student should have as well. Okay, so moving on to essential number 3, and it is a bit of a smaller one, but is one that I still think is vitally important for law students, and that is a good quality, but more importantly, a reliable pen. Now that the pandemic is over, law school exams have gone back to being in person and handwritten, and that is why I think now more than ever it is vitally important that you have a good quality, but more importantly, a reliable pen. What I think is even more important though is that you choose a pen and that you stick to it. And that is because the more you write with, this specific pen, you'll sort of start to build the muscles in your hand, and it will just allow you to write for a lot longer periods of time without your hand fatiguing. But also something that I've found is that similar to when you are touch typing, you'll almost develop a kind of muscle memory for certain words, and you'll just be able to write those words quicker, which will just save you so much time during your exams. So having a pen, a high quality pen, a reliable pen, but more importantly, a pen that you choose and that you stick to is vitally important for law students, especially in 2025, because not only will it help you in the long run and help with your handwriting, but it will help you during your exams, just when it comes to your hand not fatiguing as quickly, so that you can get down those points or those last minute points that you may not have been able to if you were just using some random pen or pen that you hadn't written with consistently. So essential number 3, a pen, is a small one but is still vitally important, and I think every single law student should make sure that they have a good quality and a reliable pen. Okay, so essential 4 is one that is particularly important to myself, and that is a good suit. But more specifically, you want to make sure that the suit that you have is well fitted, tailored, and just fits your body really, really well. As a law student, you're going to be potentially attending some clerkships, you're going to be attending some networking events, or even just doing moot court competitions, and you're going to want to have a good suit that makes you feel good and that you feel confident in. A good suit does a ton of things. For one, it projects professionalism, confidence. It gives you credibility, and it just helps you make a good first impression, especially at those networking events that attending just wearing sort of generic clothes wouldn't be able to do. But like I mentioned earlier, I think it is vitally important that the suit you buy fit you well. If you can go sort of the custom route and have a suit made for you like I have, that would probably be your best bet, just because they measure it to your body, it fits your proportions perfectly, and that is what will make you sort of look your best. And if you can pair that with a custom shirt like I do as well, I think that just helps to sort of cap off the whole entire look and just looks the best with a custom suit. However, if you aren't able to go the custom route, then at the very least, I think you should get a suit that fits you as good as it can off of the rack, but then go to your local tailor and have them sort of alter it and tailor it to fit your body specifically. Trust me, you will thank me later. Just having a suit that fits you well is just highly, highly important. And like I said, it just helps project that little extra level of professionalism, which as a law student you potentially don't have just yet, because you are still a student, but it will take you a long way. And that is just something that wearing a good, well-fitted suit gives you. So essential number 4 is a good suit. It is vitally important to me at least. And I think every single law student should have a good suit that fits them well. Now, the next essential is one that is not absolutely critical, um, or at least it wasn't for myself because I got by in my first and second semesters without it, and that is a printer. Now, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, a printer anywhere in the price range of $50 to $100 will be perfect and will be able to cover all of the things that you need it for. Now, a printer is particularly useful at my university where our exams are open book. And what this means is that we can bring in any sort of materials that we like, whether it be textbooks, books, notes, dictionaries, that sort of thing. Or if you're like myself and like to create cheat sheets and print them out, you can bring in those too. During my first year, my first and second semester, I had to rely on going to my local stationery store to print out all of my cheat sheets, which is fine. I got by just fine, but in hindsight, it would have saved me so much time and so much money just having the printer here at home and being able to, print out my cheat sheets, especially after, having to reprint them because of mistakes or edits that I wanted to make. So, while I don't think it's absolutely essential, you can get by without it. I think having a printer does have its place. And if you do have, that spare $50 to $100 to spend on a printer, then I do think it's worth it. And I think every student, generally should have a printer. Okay, so moving on to essential number 6, and it is these right here. It is a good quality pair of noise cancelling headphones. Now, you can go the over-ear route like these here, or the in-ear route like my AirPods just here. Whichever you prefer, doesn't really matter which you go with. I'm lucky enough to have both, but if I had to choose, I would choose the over-ear pair. They're just more comfortable for myself, and I just find myself being able to listen to lectures and music for much longer periods of time with these as opposed to, my regular sort of AirPods. But regardless of the type that you choose, I think what is more important is 1, that you have a pair, and 2, that it has noise cancellation and that it can cancel out a ton of background noises which could potentially distract you. If you find yourself on campus for long periods of time, what you'll find is that libraries or study areas around campus aren't actually as quiet as you think they are. They are places that are filled with a lot of distractions, and having a pair of headphones that can cancel out all those distractions and help you focus is vitally important. And that is why I think, having a good pair, a pair that can cancel out all those noises as much as it can, is extremely important, and, is an essential that every single law student should have. Okay, so the last essential on this list is one that unfortunately you can't purchase, but I think it might be the most important essential on this list, and that is friends or people that you go through law school with, people that you study with. During my first year of law school, particularly my first and second semesters of law school, I didn't have anyone to study with, and that made things exponentially harder. And at the time I didn't realize it. Until you are able to find people that you study with, you will only be able to see the benefit of having them. Now, it doesn't need to be a massive group of people. I have 2 people in particular that I study with, one of them being one of my best friends, that you can see right here, and another one of my friends, Nick, who I met at the beginning of law school. But having those people that you were able to study with allows you to sort of bounce ideas off each other. You can talk to them about assignments. If there's particular concepts that they understand better than yourself, you can talk to them about it, and maybe they can explain it to you a lot better than the lecturer could, or in a different way than the lecturer could that helps you understand it in that better way. They are just absolutely invaluable, and I highly recommend that you get yourself a good pair of friends, or a good set of people that you are able to study with as early as you possibly can. If you are lucky enough to be coming into university with some friends who are also studying law, that is fantastic. However, if you aren't, or if you don't, then I think, you know, going to orientation week or during your first week's lectures or your first week's tutorials, it is really important to put yourself out there, introduce yourself to people, so that you can get, you know, some names, some phone numbers of people that you are able to study with, because trust me, it will just serve you in the long run, and will help make the whole entire law school experience that much better. It is a bit of a daunting thing to do, but trust me, it is absolutely worth it, because, you know, having those people that you trust and that you go through law school with will, yeah, just put you in good stead for the rest of your degree, and put you in good stead from the beginning. So that is essential number 7, quite possibly the most important essential on this list, and one that, you know, you can't really purchase. You just really have to put yourself out there. But yeah, that's essential number 7. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up today's video. Those were the 7 essentials that I believe every single law student should have. Now, if you enjoyed this video, or if you found some things that you are going to purchase before starting this next year of law school, then please let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, please hit the like button and subscribe. But also keep an eye out for new videos. I'm planning to release a bunch more different videos, and videos that I believe, you know, will be able to help all of you guys in the future. So keep an eye out for those. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.